Just how deeply embedded in the drug trade are some of the most powerful people in American politics? This only scratches the surface. But for example, Delano Roosevelt, the grandfather of FDR, made his fortune as an opium trafficker. Writing home, Delano said he could not pretend to justify the opium trade on moral grounds. He wrote, "But as a merchant, I insist it has been fair, honorable, and legitimate, and no more objectionable than the importation of wines and spirits to the U.S. Yet, as addiction became epidemic, and as the Chinese began paying with precious silver for the drug, their emperor finally in 1839 named an imperial commissioner to end the trade." In the mid-19th century, not only did the Chinese opium trade bring one of the wealthiest nations on earth to its knees and convert Britain's Queen Victoria into history's largest drug dealer, but a century before his grandson rose to power, it also made Warren Delano and the scions of several other prominent American families very, very rich. FDR's grandfather's embarrassing fortune was just the beginning of what would become an entire government-run and corporate bank laundering trillion-dollar industry, far too important to the wealthy elite to cut off and actually prosecute.
I came to the table with a background in Air Force intelligence, 8 years during the Vietnam War, worked with the CIA and Air America, and then that led me into contract work with the CIA in an obscure place called Mena, Arkansas, back when Bill Clinton was governor and back when George Bush was the president. And I personally witnessed complicity between these two men, Bush and Clinton, in terms of transporting cocaine into the U.S. For the purpose of sale to generate money to fight a war. And that war at the time was the conflict in Central America involving the Sandinistas in Nicaragua.
Listen to what they let these guys off with, okay? He says some of this was very illegal. They got guilty pleas from these guys for crimes like fraud, manipulation, bribery, money laundering, tax evasion. And this is a description of HSB's crimes from Eric Holder's Justice Department. Quote, "As a result of HSBC Bank's USA AML failures, at least $881 million in drug trafficking proceeds, including the proceeds of drug trafficking by the Sinaloa Cartel in Mexico, were laundered through HSBC Bank USA." That's what Eric Holder's Justice Department said. $881 million in drug trafficking money laundered by HSBC. And he says, you might remember, this is Matt Tiabi saying, you might remember the Sinaloa Cartel had ISIS-style torture videos, but HSBC laundered their cash. They even created, listen to this, HSBC created a special teller window to make sure that the Sinaloa Cartel's deposits were made easier. You have that? They got their own special teller window. The people who were making ISIS-like torture videos, this drug cartel, they were laundering their money and had a special teller window for them. This is, he said, admitted. It is not alleged. This is not a conspiracy theory, okay? This is criminal activity of the highest order that Eric Holder let go for his former, now current clients, okay? And I would argue they were his clients all along.
Fritz Springmeier explains the origins of the drug war from his excellent work, The Bloodlines of the Illuminati, while going into great detail concerning one of the key families in the drug trade, the Russell family. Springmeier says this: "The drug war is not what it seems. It is a very ingenious scheme to enslave the American people and destroy all their civil rights. The drug war seems like the perfect plan, with no way for the power to lose. First, the power creates a drug culture in America. The drug culture would and did give many their first step into the New Age conspiracy. The power would then make billions of dollars by running drugs to further finance other nefarious schemes, and could use their worldwide power to crush all of their competitors. When the power has crushed and arrested their competitors in drug running, they would be hailed as heroes by the majority of the people." John Bound for Infowars.com.